आप आज से आ रहे हो ना? Have you watched previous lectures? No. Introduction wala. Okay. After that, we have had 2 lectures. We should watch those. Okay. Any doubts till now? You did last Sunday's homeworks, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division के problems, tables till 20. नहीं, मन नहीं करा. You should mug up all the tables. There is no getting around it. We were done with all PYQs, no? Of that section, addition, multiplication wala. Do you want me to put this booklet on the board? Or are you comfortable like this? Comfortable, hai na? Today we'll start with exponents or powers. सारे नहीं किए थे, कौन सा बचा था? Oh, right. Yes, sorry. बाकी सब लोग हाँ कैसे बोल दिए यार? We were till question number 5. Last के 2 questions बचे थे, and from there we had to do. Right? Page number 9. Page number 9. The question starts from AB and CD are 2-digit numbers. This is CSE 2023 question. We have to do from there. You don't have? अच्छा, आप अभी के लिए रख लो, but give him a back. Second last question. Try it on your own. हो गया? अच्छा, आपका भी 6 है? You also got 6? किया ही नहीं? कर लो, भी कर लो, चलो. We are starting from where we left last time. Question is AB and CD are 2-digit numbers and their multiplication is something that question is talking about. CSE 2023 question. Second last on page number 9. Don't be afraid of the question. Just write down whatever information that is given. Just plot it. Okay. Good. Try it on your own. Okay. If you have done this question, you can do next question. सारे कर लिए? Okay. Okay. Wow. What is it? What is the number? Further, I guess H and I are given. E and F are given. 0 and 8 are given. Where do you think the maximum information is given? These two are the question. First, they are given AB into CD is DEF, and then they are saying DEF plus GHI is 7975. And then they are also saying E and F are 0 and 8. So where do you think maximum information is given? Here, everything, almost everything is given. You should start from here. And what are these? These are single digits. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. These are out of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9. A, B, C, D, E, F are A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. These are from these 10 digits and they are different. That is given. Now just see possibilities. Start with addition. I'll give the first step. Here F is given as 8. F is 8 and 8 plus something is 5. ऐसे add करते हैं ना, we add from units place. Then 8 plus something is 5, so I has to be 7. 8 plus 7, 15 का 5 आ जाएगा इधर. This is how we add. 8 plus 7, 15 आएगा, उसका 5 आएगा, and then we'll carry forward 1. And that's how we add two numbers. These 5 cannot come from any other number. No possibility. It has to be 7. Right? So I has to be 7. So nothing else can be 7. So we cut 7. There is no other number that can take 7 now. 7 is gone. Now you do next. What else? 8 plus 7, 15 and carry forward 1. Huh? 1 plus 0 is 1 plus something is 7. 1 plus what is 7? It has to come from 6. No other choice. So H is 6. So 6 is gone. Now no other letter can take value 6 now. Right? Okay. Now we have 7. No carry forward. And what else we have? D plus G is 9. D plus G is 9. Which are pairs which give us 9? Either 1 8 or 2 6, 2 7, 3 6 or 4 5. Only these pairs give us 9. No other choices. But 8 is already taken by H. No, 8 is already taken by F. E is 0. Right? So 4 plus 5 are the only free things. 6 is already taken. 7 is already taken. 8 is already taken. Everything else is taken. Only something which is not taken. 4 and 5. So D and G are 4 and 5 in some order. It is either 4 5 or 5 4. That could be there. So D comma G are 4 comma 5. Fine. So here we either have 4 or we either have 5. Can you proceed? हो गया? हो गया? What can you do after this? Now we have D as 4 or 5. Now, after here we have to come here. Now D is 4 or 5. Now can D be 5? If D is 5, then 5 into something gives us either 0 or 5 at the units place. 5 here at the units place, then 5 into anything will give us either 0 or 5 at units place. Here we have 8, so it cannot be 5. So D has to be 4. So D has to be 4. If D is 4, ABC, what are options remaining for ABC? 1, 2, 3 and 9. ABC are one of these. They are not specified. If 9 comes, it can be taken or not. But because they are not specified, we'll assume that it can be. So ABC are from 1, 2, 3, 9. We want to conclude that ABC cannot be 9. Huh? Right, because they have asked A plus B plus C. Now, if C is 9, it becomes 94. Numbers become 94. Right? And 94 into 2-digit number, it cannot be 408. 94 into smallest 2-digit number, which is 10, is 900. So 94 into 2-digit number तो 900 से बड़ा ही होता है. It is bigger than 900. If B is 9, then 4 into 9, 6 आना चाहिए यहाँ पे. और वहाँ पे 8 है. So B cannot be 9. And C, again, this would be 99 something. So this number again would be bigger than 90. So ये 900 से बड़ा हो जाएगा. So none of ABC can be 9. ABC have to be 1, 2, 3. 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. थोड़ा फास्ट हो गया ना? थोड़ा फास्ट हो गया मुझे लगा. समझ गए? पक्का? थोड़ा फास्ट नहीं हुआ? जमीर? पक्का? What we did is we just plotted the information. What information? There are two equations. These are those that are given. AB into CD is DEF. That is 1. And second, they have given DEF plus GHI is 975. That is the information we have. What else do we have? We have values of E and F. That is also given. What else is given? That these are single digits and they are distinct. One letter represents one digit. That is something they have already specified. So, because here we have more information, we begin from here, and addition is something we can work with better. So we just added, as we normally do, we added units place, we got the value of I, we added tens place, we got the value of H, and we are now crossing the corresponding values in our number of digits, because those values cannot be taken by others once these are taken. How do you propose? 6, how did you go it? Achha, from options. 6 is A plus B plus C. 6 is not ABC. 6 is sum of the digits. So how can you put D as 6? D is not A plus B plus C, na? This is different value. That is purposefully they are asking you different value, so that you cannot put options. That is the sole reason why they would ask A plus B plus C and not individually or directly sum. If they ask you directly what are values of ABC, you can put and check. But they don't want you to do that. They want you to do something like this. And anyway, we got D as 4, not as 6. So yes, we added units place, we added tens place, then we added hundreds place, and we got values of D and G. D and G we concluded are out of 4 and 5. We didn't know the order. Either of them could be 4, either of them could be 5. But putting D as 5 created its own problems because 5 into units place value, any units place value. If it is even, it has to come 0 here. If it is odd, it has to come 5 here. But here we add 8. So we concluded D is not 5. So D is 4. We put value of D as 4. And now for ABC, only these many options remained with us: 1, 2, 3, and 9. Rest of the values were taken. And then we concluded none of them can be 9. C cannot be 9 because this number then becomes greater than 90. It becomes 94. And 94 into 2-digit number cannot be as small as 408 because 90 into 10, smallest number starting with 9 and smallest 2-digit number 10. Their multiplication is also 90. So 94 into any 2-digit number would be much greater than 900. But this is 400 something. So that is not true. B cannot be 9 because 4 into 9, 6 has to come at the units place. So B cannot be 9 and C cannot be 9 for the same reason as first case. That is why A, B, C are 1, 2, 3 in some order. अगर उन्होंने पूछा होता कि actually कुछ और निकालो, individually ABC निकालो, then we would have proceeded further. But they have just asked addition of ABC, which is addition of 1, 2, 3 in some order. So we'll get 6. आपने क्या किया? सेम किया? अच्छा, हाँ, okay. Possibly, you got the individual values of ABC. So what you are doing is, once you get D as 4, you are trying to set B such that this into this gives us 8 at the units place. 4 into something के end में 8 कब आता है? 4 के टेबल में 8 कब आता है end में? हाँ? 4 2s 8 आता है and 4 7s 28 आता है. But 7 is not possible because it is already taken. So B has to be 2. So if B is 2, this is 408, no? 4 2s are 8. And 4 into A gives us next 0. No. Then this is 0. Right? Now ABC, A and C are 1 and 3. That much we know now. So it is either 1 3 or 3 1. That is the only choice. Here 4 2s are 8. Then whenever we start multiplying by tens place, it will be this into this would come here. And then these two numbers will get added. No. Here it is 4 into 2, 8. Then something. And then these two numbers will get added. 12 into 34. So it is either only two choices, na? 12 into 34 or 32 into 14. You can check which value is 408. This one. If they had asked you to find individual values of ABC, this is something you could have done, but they have not asked. They have only asked A plus B plus C. So you don't need to do that. You can just say that ABC has to be 1, 2, 3 in some order. And so their sum is 1 plus 2 plus 3, 6. That is fine. पक्का समझ आया? The only thing that was important is plotting all the information that you have and add as we always do. In a regular manner, we add units places, tens places, hundreds place, and the multiplication like we always do. By units place to units place, then units place to tens place, and this unit place comes from this multiplication. These are the only things that we were cognizant of and how big the value should be. Right? We have not used any special tricks, formulas. This is just how we usually multiply multiply 2-digit number into 2-digit number, and this is how we usually add 2 3-digit numbers. Right? ठीक है? ठीक है? पक्का? आप लेट आए. कोई नहीं, आप नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन से स्टार्ट कर लेना हमारे साथ. वॉच दिस मच. आप लास्ट लेक्चर में नहीं थे, क्यों? बंक मत करो यार, अरिथमेटिक इज इंपॉर्टेंट. प्लीज डोंट बंक अरिथमेटिक लेक्चर्स. इट विल बी, यू विल प्ले कैचिंग गेम, देन कैचिंग अप गेम. अभी मत बंक करो. वॉच द प्रीवियस लेक्चर. अगर आपको कोई डाउट है तो पूछ लेना आप. चलिए आगे. पक्का? पक्का. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. क्या है नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन? वो छूट गया था. अच्छा. नाउ फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन आई वार्न यू, दिस क्वेश्चन वाज टू बी लेफ्ट अलोन. सो इफ यू फील दैट दिस इज way too long to be done in examination, you are absolutely correct. PPQQRR वाला ना? अच्छा वो वाला. Did we do PPQQRR question? That is something we should not leave behind. At least you should know what we are using. Follow my chain of thought, you will understand. But if you feel that question is too long to be done in examination hall, you would be absolutely correct. This question was to be left alone because there are just too many cases to be made and it will take you 15-20 minutes. I don't know how much time in examination hall. So you should not have touched this question. And what are the identifiers? Firstly, there are two sub questions in this one question. So you have to solve two questions to get one correct answer. That is point number one. Secondly, when you do the first step, you will realize that I'll have to make cases. There is just no other way to solve this question. Because options also, if you read the statement says possible number of values. It is not talking about possible values. It is possible number of values. So you have to see how many values are there and then count the number. So this is why this is a very, very long question. We'll see how we do it. What do we have? We have PP plus QQ plus RR is equal to T0. Right? यही है ना हमारे पास. Now, these are two-digit numbers. PQR are two-digit number, and we have additional condition P less than Q less than R. This condition also they have given. This is strict inequality. So none of them can be equal. If P is 1, then Q has to be 2 or greater than 2. Q cannot be 1. This is no equality is not there. This is not less than or equal to. This is strict inequality. Fine. Now these are two-digit numbers. What are the possible values of T? These are all two-digit number. So what is the maximum sum they can produce? Huh? That is the maximum they can produce. Even don't do that. Put everything as 99. Put everything as 100 even. This sum would be less than 100 plus 100 plus 100, definitely. These are two-digit number. So their sum would be less than 100 plus 100 plus 100 in all cases. So less than 300 hoga ye number. So what are the possibilities for such number to be less than 300? It will be either 110 or 220. It cannot be 330. Right? It cannot be 330. Correct? 330 is bigger than 300, na? And sum of three two-digit numbers cannot be greater than 300. In fact, 297. 99 plus 99 plus 99 भी करोगे तो भी 297 आता है. उससे बड़ा तो नहीं होगा, सम आ ही नहीं सकता. So we have two possibilities, either 110 or 220. Now, looking values like this, PP, QQ, RR, what intuition do you feel? What क्या करना चाहिए इसको? No, whenever we didn't know what the digits are, what you do? Huh? No, here there are just too many cases. Here the statement also, statement पढ़ोगे So they are saying number of possibilities of P is 5. So at least 5 answers could be there. So you would put all the 5 answers. How would you proceed? Whenever there were unknown digits like XY, what did you do? Place values. Place values. Huh? Right. 10x, you write xy is equal to 10x plus y, and then see what conditions are there. So here let us do that. Can I write PP as 10p plus p? Place values, basic place value. जो हम, if we have to write 12, how do we write? 1 into 10 plus 2. ऐसे लिखते हैं 10 को, 12 को. If I have to write 27, I write it as 10 into 2 plus 7. Right? Everybody is familiar with this. We have done this in previous class. So I'm just writing PP as 10p plus p. If you are facing difficulty in this, आप previous class देख लेना. उसमें we have done entire section on this, and there have been PYQs on this as well. That is why I asked them. पहला intuition क्या आ रहा है? Whenever we have unknown digits, one of our first intuitions or go-to methods is just writing place values and seeing what information can be fit in the question. So I write 10p as PP as 10p plus p. Then I write QQ as 10q plus q, and I write RR as 10R plus R, and it is either 110 or 220. Those are separate cases that we'll consider separately. Now, what is this sum? This is 10p plus p is 11p. 11p plus 11q plus 11r is equal to 110 or 220. Now I can take 11 common. Or 220. I can divide by 11 on both sides. So what do I have? P plus Q plus R is equal to, if I divide 110 by 11, I get 10. 11 tens are 110. 10, and here I'll get कोई शक? No doubt. So here is what we get from the given information. We get these particular equations. 2 equations. So we have to make 2 cases here. अगर ये लंबा लग रहा है तो क्योंकि ये लंबा है, अभी तो आधा क्वेश्चन भी नहीं हुआ है. This is a long question. This was a question to be left alone in examination hall. And identifier is, first is there are multiple statements. Second is they are talking, those statements are talking about possible values, number of possible values. Second identifier. Third identifier, if you solve it for 30 seconds and write whatever you know from the question, you will arrive at this equation, and this equation gives you not direct answer. You still have to make cases. There are 2 cases in itself, and within these cases there would be sub cases. So it is a time taking process. We are not doing anything fancy here. We are just writing down the information. आंसर समझने के लिए डिफिकल्ट नहीं है, बट एग्जीक्यूट एग्जामिनेशन हॉल में करने के लिए लेंदी है बहुत. दैट इज ऑल. So this is what we have got. Now we'll deal with these 2 equations separately, these 2 cases separately. First is P plus Q plus R is equal to 10. Okay. Condition क्या है एक और? P less than Q less than R. That is always there. Now, can P be 1? First case is, let us put P is equal to 1. Then what we will have? Q plus R is equal to 9. Now, what are the possible values of Q and R? Start methodical counting. 2, 7. 3, 6, 4, 5. Nothing else. 5, 4 cannot come because this condition is there. Right? So we have one possible value of P and 3 possible values of Q from here. Right? Okay. What is next possible value of P? P is equal to 2. Is it possible or not? We have to check. If P is 2, then we have Q plus R is equal to 8. P is 2, then Q plus R is 8. Then Q is, so 2, 6 वगैरह can be there, but 2, 3, 4 we already know that it is possible value. And we don't want to repeat. We only have to comment on how many possible values of P and Q are there. Now we have checked that 2, 3, 4 are possible values of Q. I don't need to repeat them. I'll start directly with 5. I want to see what other possible values of Q are there apart from 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4 है वो तो मुझे पता है. You don't need to tell me that. I already know that. So can Q be 5? No, then R will be 8 and that would be violated. So from this case, we only have cases like 2, 6, etc. So only P, one extra value we have. Q का कोई extra value नहीं मिला यहाँ से. Fine. Can P be 3? Then Q plus R is 7. Again, 2, 3, 4 is something. Huh? कहाँ निकालिए? Possibilities. We have to comment on how many values of P and Q are possible. So possibilities we have to check कि कितने possible है. ठीक है? Q plus R is 7. Now Q can be 2, 3, 4. That I already know. That I don't need to check. Can Q be 5? No. P can be 3. Yes. Here we have 2, 5, etc. So 2, 5 नहीं चलेगा ना. 4, 3. No. P cannot be 3 here. For P is equal to 3, there are no possibilities. Note this. In this, under this, if P is 3, then Q can be 4 or greater than 4 because of that condition. And if you put Q as 4, you will have to get R as 3, which is not allowed because of that condition. So this case, we have to entirely reject. So far, we only have 2 values of P and 3 values of Q. Okay. So agar question बस इतना होता, if there was not one more possibility, both the statements would be wrong. But because there is another possibility, we have to check for that possibility as well. What is that possibility? P plus Q plus R is equal to 20. That was other possibility. Right? Now again, we'll start from P is equal to 2. What are the possible values of Q and R? Q plus R is equal to 18. There are no digits that satisfy this apart from 9, 9, which is not allowed because of, right? So this case we reject. There are no digits like this. Q plus R is equal to 18. 9 plus 9, 18 hota hai, but 9 plus 9 is not allowed because of strict inequality. If P is equal to 3, then we have Q plus R is equal to 17. Are there possibilities here? 8, 9. Right? So we have one more value of Q. This P we already had. If we have P is equal to 4, then Q plus R is equal to 16. Now any other possibilities of Q? Q equal to 8, I already have. Q is equal to 9. 9 cannot be there because R would be greater than Q. And if R is 9, Q can be 7. 7 plus 9 is possibility. So we have another value of Q. P is equal to 4. वो last page पे था. Next case, P is equal to 5. Then Q plus R is equal to 15. We can have 6, 9. 6 is new value of Q. 7 is already considered 7 plus 8, but 7 is already we know that Q can be 7. So we have one more value of P and one more value of Q. P is equal to 6. Then Q plus R is 14. Now, any other possibility? Q cannot be 6. If Q is 7, R would be 7. That is not allowed. If Q is 8, R has to 6, but that is not allowed because of strict inequality. So this case, we reject. Similarly, we will reject Q equal to P equal to 7, 8, 9 because of that condition. So how many possible values of P we have? Here, 1, 2, 3, and last page, 1 and 2. 5 values of P there are. Statement correct hai kya? Is statement correct? Yes. And how many possible values of Q are there? Here we have 2, 3, 4. And from here we have 8, 9, 5, 7 and 8. Sorry, Q, no? Sorry, 6, 7 and 8. 6, 7 and 8. So 6 values. Is the statement correct or not? Yes. But to solve this question, you have to do all these things. You have to consider all the cases and manually check which कैसे? अच्छा, आप बता दो. नेक्स्ट क्लास में बता दो. अच्छा. आप श्योर कैसे हो कि यू हैव कंसिडर ऑल द पॉसिबिलिटीज? ओके. राइट. राइट. आप कर सेम ही रहे हो. और क्या कर रहे हो? सेम ही कर रहे हो. आई हैव जस्ट रिफाइंड इट फॉर बाय डिवाइडिंग बाय 11. ये स्टेप ऐड करके आई हैव रिफाइंड द. हाँ, अदरवाइज वैसे ही करते. दिस इज जस्ट रिफाइनमेंट because we don't then have to deal with 2-digit numbers. Here we just have to deal with single-digit numbers. So ये even faster होगा. आपने कैलकुलेशन फास्ट किया. अगर कैलकुलेशन फास्ट कर रहे हो तो ये भी फास्ट हो जाएगा. हाँ, वैल्यूज ही तो डाल रहे हैं. वी आर केसेस डाल कर रहे हैं, मतलब क्या? वी आर चेकिंग बाय पुटिंग अप वैल्यूज. Yes, it is too lengthy. We have to put manually values one way or the other. Either you do 2-digit additions or you add one more step and do single-digit addition. Your call. But question is too lengthy, that I already prefaced with. Yes, definitely. Lengthy question ज्यादा आ भी गए. कितने ज्यादा आएंगे? 2 नहीं आएंगे, 5 आएंगे, 7 आएंगे. इससे ज्यादा तो नहीं आएंगे. There would not be many lengthy questions. हाँ, definitely. Examination hall is the last place to let your ego get better of you. वहां पे कोई फायदा नहीं है ईगो को लेके. ये सॉल्व होना ही पड़ेगा, मैंने ये सॉल्व किया ही है, ऐसा टाइप का क्वेश्चन. अरे घर जाके कर लेना. यहाँ पे तो पास होने आया हो. वो नहीं है, वो जगह ही नहीं है फिर ईगो के लिए. एंड दैट हैपेंस विद लॉट ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स, स्पेशली दोस्त फ्रॉम इंजीनियरिंग बैकग्राउंड. उनको लगता है कि उनको ये आता ही है. आता भी होता है. दैट इज देयर इज नो डिनाइंग कि उनको नहीं आता है. ऑफ कोर्स आता होगा, तभी तो उनका ईगो बीच में आ रहा है. बट प्रॉब्लम है कि वो नहीं, एग्जामिनेशन हॉल है वो, वहां पे नहीं ईगो लेना है. वहां पे इफ यू फील डिफिकल्टी इन मैथमेटिक्स सेक्शन, जस्ट प्लीज गो बैक टू योर कॉम्प्रिहेंशन सेक्शन एंड अटेम्प्ट. इफ again next year mathematics section comes too lengthy, you should not get stuck into that. You have to attempt at the end 40 to 45 questions. So for that, जहां से भी attempt हो with fair accuracy. But when I mean attempt 40-45, ऐसा नहीं कि 25 गलत करके आओ उसमें से, तो फिर वो तो attempt हुआ नहीं. By 45 I mean at least 35 questions सही होने चाहिए. 35-38 question. You have leg room to leave 35 question totally. 45 attempt कर रहे हैं तो 35 you can leave totally. Plus you have leg room to get 7-8 क्वेश्चन रॉन्ग, फिर भी चलेगा, पास ही तो होना है, जितने कम रॉन्ग करेगा उतना अच्छा है. So do not let your ego get better of you. Some questions would be lengthy. Purposefully, they are put quite lengthy. And again, you don't know before going into the question that this question would be lengthy. If you know, good. If it is something we have already done, good, you'll understand that this would be lengthy and I should not do it here. But otherwise, just leave that question. Either come back to it at the end or when you come back home. Doesn't matter. 1-2 minutes you can spend on that question. And markers, we already have seen multiple times and we'll keep seeing it. There are certain markers to identify the question is lengthy or not. First is, again, if there are multiple sub-questions within one question. If there are two, for example, if there are two sub-questions, that question could be lengthy. I'm not saying it always is. It's not always lengthy, but it could be lengthy. Then, if we have to make cases like this, some of you are better at calculations. You would be able to do this faster. If you are somebody who has difficulty in making calculations quickly, in making cases methodically, then you would find this lengthy. Doesn't matter. There are easier questions. There are 2 hours, and even if you get till number 80 question, it would be good. अगर तुम 40 पे ही लास्ट क्वेश्चन तुम्हारा रीड करके हो रहा है, then you are leaving entirely half of the paper. That should not happen. So don't take every question by heart. अगर नहीं हो रहा है 1 मिनट में, आगे बढ़ो, कोई बात नहीं. There are enough number of questions. There are 27 passages for you to attempt, out of which 20 would be easy, 15 to 20 would be easy. That you can definitely do. Then from the rest of the section, you have to attempt 20-25 questions, not more than that. If you are able to attempt more than that, great. But if not, it is also fine. This is a qualifying paper. No need to spend like 6 hours, 7 hours a day for it. No need. Please don't do that. Main examination is mains. Always remember that. Prelim is elimination stage. Mains is your calling for interview stage. And marks of the mains are getting counted, not marks of the prelims. So in prelims, you just have to qualify it. You just have to ensure you are not eliminated at that stage. So, of course, respect prelims, give it due weightage. अगर आपका prelim कभी qualify नहीं हुआ है, then of course you will find it impossible to crack. But even if you crack prelims, nobody is giving you any awards. Ultimately, you have to score marks in your main examination. That is your goal. That is why you are here for. You are not here for prelims. You are here for final rank list. Remember that. So prelims को जितना देना चाहिए उतना ही वेटेज देना है. ऐसा नहीं कि अभी से सितंबर से प्रीलिम्स ही करते बैठे और मेंस कुछ करा ही नहीं. That is useless. You are just wasting your year then. You are fooling yourself, nobody else. You just not get selected. You might clear pre, but what is it use of? There is no use of prelims. 4 लोग को बताने के लिए हो जाएगा कि मैंने प्री क्लियर किया. Nothing, no use other than that. Don't fall into that trap. Don't fall into the cycles. Ensure that you are giving your best towards mains. Every mains is important to ensure कि अपना optional अच्छे से करो. Essays लिखो every week. Last week लिखा ऐसे मैंने बोला था. At least 1 essay per week लिखो. मुझे पता है नहीं लिखा होगा. लिखा. Very good, यार. Very good. Very good. Yes, Ashwini also wrote down the essay. It is important. It is not a skill that you will learn in a day. आपका पहला ऐसे जब भी लिखोगे इतना घटिया होगा कि आपको लगेगा कि I am not capable of writing essays. But that will happen whenever you will write first essay. वो आज लिखना है या फिर वो जून में लिखना है या फिर वो डायरेक्टली एग्जामिनेशन डे पे लिखना है, वो आप डिसाइड कर लो. ऐसे ऑटोमेटिकली कुछ नहीं होता. इट इज अ 250 मार्क का पेपर. It is as important as your GS 1, 2, 3, 4. It is as important as your optional paper 1 or paper 2. Just imagine, just ask yourself, do you give it justifiable time as you give for your GS 2, 3, 1 or optional paper 1, paper 2? Can you assure me that you will get 150 mark or 140 mark or 130 mark in your GS 2 or 3? You won't get it. In essay, you can assure it that you will get 130, 140 mark with sufficient practice. And every mark ultimately counts the same. Why are you neglecting it? I'm telling you again, please write one essay per week. Is it too much to ask to take out 2 hours out of your entire week for this 250 mark paper? It is not too much. If you are telling me that you don't have time, then well, I have nothing to say to you other than you are fooling yourself. Everybody has 2 hours per week. You can write your essay. I understand that there is inertia. That is why I'm pushing you so much. There is inertia to write essays, but it is not easy to write 10, 12 pages of essays and remain relevant for all those pages, sticking to the topic, writing in the language that is comprehensible, that is easy on the reader, that is informative, that is interesting. These things are not easy to ensure. It takes practice. And if your claim is that you don't have content for your essays, gather the content, then write the essays. No issues. For half an hour, search Google, search YouTube, get the quotes ready, then ask ChatGPT for some inputs if you want, and then write. You cannot claim that you don't have content. Gather the content. हवा से तो कंटेंट नहीं आता, कंटेंट किधर से लेना ही पड़ेगा. सर्वज्ञानी तो हो नहीं आप. No issue if you gather content, but please ensure that you are writing. Some of you have started writing, you will reap benefits. Guarantee. You will be better at essays compared to the competition. And essays में बहुत variation होता है. People get 50 marks and people get 150 marks. और कोई भी वो 100 marks का गैप ब्रिज नहीं कर सकता, कितने भी आए चाहे ऑप्शनल. I have a friend who got 290, I think 270, 280 in his optional anthropology, but everywhere else excellent score. Only one paper was screwed up. That was, of course, essay. He got 90 in his essay and he was thrown out of the list. Of course, he also neglected it. Don't take it lightly. That is the message. Huh. Okay. अरे यार. हाँ. ओके. कहाँ पे डिफिकल्टी आ रही है आपको? हाँ. लास्ट टाइम व्हेन वाज योर, आप कब क्वालिफाई करा था? ओके. 21 22 you couldn't. हाँ, अच्छा. Okay. 21 22 23. अच्छा. So that is something I talked in introductory class, that UPSC is changing pattern. So it is not that you are alone. There are many people who have faced this, because before 2019 paper used to be distinctly easy. Like you didn't even have to prepare. But now, because they are asking so many foundational questions, comprehension is becoming more and more complex language wise, and options are very close by. Right. That happens. कोई बात नहीं, we'll do it this time. Last is the best. कोई बात नहीं. That is all. अच्छी स्टोरीज या तो फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट में बनती है या लास्ट. अच्छी स्टोरी बनानी. एनीवे, एसेज लिखो, ठीक है? ये ठीक है, समझ गए थे हाउ वी हैव टू प्रोसीड. ईदर you start from here, come till these equations, and then make cases, or if you don't want to do this, directly put values here, 1 1 plus 2 2 plus 3 3, and do two digit additions. That is also something you can do. Either way is fine. This way you are simplifying your calculation to single digit addition. There you have to do 2 digit addition. That is the only difference. Okay. But in examination hall, this question would be lengthy to do. But the next question, everybody should attempt. Everybody should get right answer. Last on that particular page, P plus Q into R plus S. Okay. No. I'm not saying the answer. आपका 221 आया. अच्छा. ओके 225। अगर आपका 221 आ रहा है और किसी को मिल गया ऐसे नंबर जिसका 225 आ रहा है, तो आप गलत हो ना। हम्म, वो भी गलत हो सकते हैं। अच्छा 225। अच्छा देख लो एक बार फिर से। यस अश्विनी, दैट इज करेक्ट। लावण्या, अनुपमा, यू गाइस आल्सो सॉल्व। लक्ष्य, लक्ष्य, हो गया, हो गया। ये गलत हो गया था, ये गलत नहीं करना था यार। अच्छा ओ, हम्म, this was perhaps one of the easiest questions. Hmm? ऐसी मिस्टेक्स होंगी अवॉइडेबल जो होती है, बट इसलिए अपना अटेम्प्ट ही इतना ले जाओ कि एक दो मिस्टेक्स चलेगी। वर्क, I'll provide you the solutions. If you have any doubts, you can ask, we can discuss. प्रशंसा, कुछ हो रहा है? कितनी आई पॉसिबिलिटीज? हो रहा है कुछ आपका? क्या है? ओके, यस, ओके। आपका आ गया? 1 आ रहा है, 221 आ रहा है, 221 5। See, we want this product to be maximum. These are single digits. We want this product to be maximum. तो ये digits कौन से होंगे? 4, 6 7 8 9 होने चाहिए, because you want product to be maximum. तुम बड़े, सबसे बड़े से बड़े digits लेंगे. So they are 6 7 8 9 in some order. तो क्या होगा ऑर्डर? 6 7 8 9 हो सकता है, या फिर 6 8 9 7 हो सकता है, या फिर 6 9 7 8 हो सकता है। इन मतलब एडिशन 9 + 7 is 7 + 9, so 9 7 हो 7 9 हो, फर्क नहीं पड़ता। Only 3 possibilities are there. These digits have to be 6 8 7 6 7 8 9 in some order. 6 7 यहाँ पे रख के बाकी दोनों उधर, 6 8 यहाँ पे रखो, then 6 9 यहाँ पे रखो, बाकी दोनों उधर। The only 3 possibilities. Now देखो, this is what? 13 into 15. This is 14 into 16. These are the only possibilities. Now you just have to perform these multiplications and check which is higher number. तो आपको 13 का टेबल आना चाहिए, 14 का टेबल आना चाहिए, 15 का टेबल आना चाहिए, which will make your calculations very very easy. Otherwise you will have to do units place multiplication, then add 0, tens place multiplication and so on. किसको आता है 13 का टेबल? हाँ, good. 13 sevens are 13 ones are 1 plus 9. 13 ones are 13 plus 9. 2 2 1. 14 का टेबल किसको आता है? आपको आता है? 14 6 जा 84. कहाँ का आता है? अच्छा 16 4 जा किया, कोई बात नहीं, चलो 16 4 जा, 16 4 जा 64. 16 ones are 16 plus 6 224. And this is 15 ka square. What is 15 ka square? Which is highest? 225. If you know the tables, calculations become easy. Otherwise, they will be little bit lengthier. थोड़ा और टाइम लगेगा, 30 सेकंड 40 सेकंड जितना भी लगेगा. So if try to remember the tables till 20, it will help you. But fundamentally this question was very easy. Only alternative for these digits was 6 7 8 9, क्योंकि बहुत बड़ा से बड़ा product चाहिए. We want product as large as possible, so it has to be these digits. But these digits in some order. We don't know कौन सा बड़ा आ जाए. So we put 6 7 here, 8 9 here, then put 6 8 here, 7 9 here, and 6 9 here, 7 8 there. And we got 3 options. Third options was the largest product. Okay. कहाँ पे एक ही लेके बैठ गए थे केस? आप भी सेम केस हो गया था, एक ही हो गया था. Those who got 221 were stuck with first case. They could not think of changing the orders. Clear? कोई डिफिकल्टी इसमें? क्लियर? चले आगे. पक्का? चले. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. व्हाट इज द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन? हाँ, some of the digits. Question is again very simple. If you understand what does the question is asking you to do. अच्छे से पढ़ो. Just understand. Try to understand the question. Question is about what is sum of the digits. Digits are single digits. What is sum of the digits that occur between 10 and 100? So we have 10 here. Then we go to 11, 12, and so on till 20. Then this goes on till 91 till 100. This is how we proceed. So question is, there are these digits occurring here. 1 occurs here, 1 occurs here, 2 occurs here, 1 1 1 1 1 2 2 2 2 2. This is how these digits are occurring in between 10 and 100. Question is, what is sum of those digits? Sum of all the digits that occur between 10 and 100. We want to see sum of digits, not the numbers. Digits. So this is sum of these two digits is 1 plus 0, 1. This is again 1 plus 1. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and so on. समझ गए क्वेश्चन? नहीं समझे? Let me write down 13, 14. What is sum of the digits of 11? 1 plus 1. 11 is 1 1. 1 plus 1 2. Sum of these digits is 2. Fine. Here we have 2. 12, 3 and so on. So sum of the digits of 11, 12, 13 क्या होगा? 2 plus 3 plus 4. Right? So if I ask you what is sum of the digits from 10 to 20, then 10 का sum of the digits 1 होगा, 11 का 2 होगा, 12, 13. आप वैसे 19 तक जाओगे and 20 का 2 plus 0. So this would be sum of the digits from 10 to 20. Right? ऐसे we have to comment on what is sum of the digits from 10 to 100. अब समझ गए? क्वेश्चन समझ गए क्या? क्वेश्चन समझ गए तो आंसर इजी है. How do you find sum of the digits? अगर हम डिजिट्स ही फाइंड कर ले कि 1 कितनी बार आता है, 2 कितनी बार आता है, 3 कितनी बार आता है, तो अब जस्ट ऐड कर देंगे सबको, वही तो होगा सम ऑफ द डिजिट्स. If you want sum of the digits and if you find frequency of individual digits, that how many time 1 appears, how many time 2 appears, how many time 3 appears, and then we add, it will give you the same result. सारे digits ऐसे लिखने के अलावा मैं ऐसे लिख रहा हूँ 1 1 1 1 एक साथ लिख रहा हूँ, जितने भी 1 आ रहा है 10 and 100 के बीच में उसको एक साथ लिख रहा हूँ, फिर 2 2 2 2 2 2 को एक साथ लिख रहा हूँ, फिर 3 3 3 3 को एक साथ लिख रहा हूँ, जितनी भी बार आ रहे हैं. एंड ऐसे मैं 9 तक कर रहा हूँ. 0 को करने की जरूरत नहीं है बिकॉज 0 डज नॉट गिव एनीथिंग टू एडिशन. 0 प्लस एनीथिंग इज 0. 0 प्लस एनीथिंग इज दैट नंबर इटसेल्फ, नॉट 0. एंड आई एम एडिंग ऑल दिस नंबर्स. तो कैसे ऐड करूंगा? 1 और जितनी भी बार आ रहा है, लेट अस से 1 इज कमिंग आउट n1 टाइम्स, 1 into n1 plus 2 is coming n2 times and so on. That would be the addition. So that is what I want now, n1, n2. How many time 1 appears, how many time 2 appears, how many time 3 appears. That is something we want to gauge. Now it is very easy now. Just see how many time 1 appears. कहाँ पे 1 आएगा? वन कहाँ पे आ सकता है यहाँ पे? 1 will come here, 11, 21, 31. Here it will come, and 11, 12. Here it will come at tens place. Here it will come at units place. Right? How many times here? 11 to 91. 9 times. 9 times here. And from 11 to 19, again 9 more times. So 18 plus 10 में भी आ रहा है एक बार. 19 plus 100 में आ रहा है एक बार. So 1 is coming 20 times. Right? No doubt. How many times 2 appears? 2 will appear firstly at 12, 22, 32. From 11 to 92. How many times? 9 times. 10 क्यों कर रहे हो यार? 1, 2, 3, 12, 22, 32, 42, 52, 62, 72, 82, 92. 9. From 1 to 9. 9 times. इसमें गलती मत करना. If you are facing confusion, मैन्युअली काउंट करके देख लो कितनी बार आ रहा है. यहां पे गलती करोगे तो कोई फायदा नहीं पूरा वेट टाइम वेस्ट करके. अल्टीमेट आंसर वुड बी रॉन्ग. सो 2 comes 9 times here and vertically in 21, 22, 23 there 2 would come. वो 9 बार आएगा from 21 to 29 and plus in 20. 20 में भी एक बार आएगा ना 2. तो टोटल 19 times. Why is 1 coming 1 extra? Because we have 100. 100 की वजह से वो एक एक्स्ट्रा आ रहा है. अदरवाइज वो भी 90 नहीं आता. बट नाउ ओनली देयर इज 100. सो 3 कितनी बार आएगा? जितने बार 2 आ रहा है. नो डिफरेंस बिटवीन 2 and 3. तो ऐसे ही 9 कितनी बार आएगा? We just if we just calculate 2, we get frequency of all other digits. Now what would be the sum? Sum क्या होगा इन सब का? These are all the digits. We have just enlisted all the digits. अब इनका सम क्या होगा? जो भी इनका सम होगा, इसका सम क्या होगा? 1 into 20, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. What would be sum of 2? 19 times. 2 into 19. Right? What would be sum of 3 taken 19 times? 3 into 19. And so up to 9 into 19. And we want to add all those numbers now. What would be addition? Now I can write it as this into 19 plus 1. 1 मैंने अलग से लिख लिया because then I will get symmetry. So I have is 1 plus 1 into 19 plus 2 into 19 plus up to 9 into 19. Right? This is what we have. I can take 19 common. 19 is there everywhere in multiplication. 1 plus 19 into 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus up to 9. This addition is something you can do, or if you remember our addition formula, Euler वाली story बताई थी, याद है? How did Euler come about this formula? Have I told you or not? Huh? How does that formula come about? Have I told you? No. Okay. Let us finish this, then I'll tell. This is n. Formula for 1 plus 2 plus up to n is always n into n plus 1 by 2. So if you put n equal to 9, you'll get 9 into 10 by 2. So this is 45. This is just now 1 plus 19 into 45. If you remember the table of 19, you can calculate it quickly. Aata hai table of 19? Okay, 19 5s are 95. Carry forward 9. 19 1s are 19 4s are 76 plus 9 is 80 plus 1 है ना उधर. So that is the answer. समझ गए? पक्का? All we had to do is to understand question. Question was asking us to find sum of all the digits. For the question, it did not matter that if digit is at tens place or units place. Every digit was same for this question because it was asking us sum of all the digits that appear between 10 and 100. So what we had to do, we just had to see which digit appears how many times and then add all those digits. That is what we did. We concluded that 1 appears 20 times. 2 to 9, every digit appears 19 times. And then we directly added those digits. And addition came out to be 856. That is all we do. That is what we have to do. Okay. Now, how this formula comes about, in case you forget it. In case you forget that 1 plus 2 plus up to n is n into n plus 1 by 2. In case you forget this formula, this is how you can derive or recall quickly. So, yes, Ashwini, it is 856, not 855. And unfortunately, 855 is also there in the option. And it is meant to make you force you to make those mistakes. You will forget 1 from that 100 and you will mark it as 855 and the answer would be wrong. So anyway, there is this story that there is very famous mathematician, one of the most celebrated mathematicians, known as Euler. Spelling is, I don't know if you have heard his name in mathematics or engineering, but he's a very famous mathematician. And what happened was, he had a teacher who was perhaps lazy and he just wanted off period to himself. He just wanted to sit back and relax. So he intentionally gave students a difficult homework to do. He asked students to find sum of all the digits from 1 to, sum of all the numbers from 1 to 100. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 up to plus 100. So he thought that पूरा lecture इसमें चला जाएगा, मुझे कुछ नहीं करना है, बस बैठना है. But Euler was back in 15 seconds with correct answer. And of course, the lecturer was shocked. So this is what Euler did. He wrote this number. He called as sum of other digits. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus up to 100. This is what he wanted to find out. He then reversed the order and wrote the same thing. 100 plus 99 plus 98 plus up to 1. Any issue? He just reversed the order. Addition में order reverse करने से कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. And then he added these two numbers. S plus S is 2S. 2S. And this is nothing but 100 plus 1 is 101 plus 101 plus 101. All pairings would be 101. So what? How many times 101 appears here? 100 times. So 2s is equal to 100 into 101. S is equal to 100 into 101 by 2. N into n plus 1 by 2. If you replace here 100 by n, you will get the general formula. This is how he derived it. Here, this is how we calculated sum of all the numbers from 1 to 100 very quickly. And so if you don't remember this formula, I shall be repeating this formula n number of times. But in case you don't recall, you can always perform this in 10 seconds, 15 seconds and come to the same conclusion. Just replace 100 by n. And here you will then get everywhere n plus 1. N plus 1 plus n plus 1 plus n plus 1. How many such sums you will get? N sums. Because there is 1, 2, 3 up to n. So for every n, we have this. So we will have n into n plus 1 is equal to 2s. So s is equal to n into n plus 1 by 2. That is how you can derive this formula. Fine. This is just a side story. This is we use very frequently to calculate any sums whenever we have to calculate this type of sum. What is ये क्या होगा? N is 8 here, so 8 into 9 by 2. Okay, something like this. In case we are going little ahead, if I have to calculate this 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus up to say 60. How do you calculate this? We don't know how to calculate this, but what we know, 1 से 60 होता तो कर देते. So you from your hand add 1 plus 2 plus 3 and then subtract 1 plus 2 plus 3. You have not changed the value, but now you can use the formula. So this is nothing but 60 into 61 by 2 and this is minus 6. This is how you can find the answers if they start somewhere in between. Wherever they start, here I started from 4. We can start from, let us say, 15 plus 16 up to 30. Here you add first 14 numbers, subtract first 14 numbers. How do you add? You add 1 plus 2 plus up to 14 plus this 15 and then minus 1 plus 2 up to 14. What is this? This is 30 into 31 by 2 and this is minus 14 into 15 by 2. Right? This is how you can solve. This is simple modification of the same problem. Anyway, ये question समझ गए digits वाला. This is some. This is a question. Not this. Yes, this kind of question appear very frequently where they ask you to find sum of the digits. So you have to understand whenever they are asking for sum of the digits, for them, place values are immaterial. Whatever digit at the tens place is equally important as whatever the digit is at the units place. So they are just interested in finding out how many digits are there, which digit is appearing how many times, and like this, and then taking the sum. That is all they are interested in. Okay, so this kind of question is repeatable. चले आगे. Should we move ahead? Next question. पढ़ो.
E is a three-digit number at the rate of number. The sum of its digits is this.
Okay. Got it. So here, there is no mathematical way of doing this. This is all intuition. There is no mathematical way, absolutely, of doing this particular question. But some things we can do to improve our intuition, because this is just putting values at the end. This is not much advanced thing, or that there is nothing much that I can teach you, because there is no mathematics involved. There is just putting values and intuition involved. What they are saying is, we have a 3-digit number. If you don't know 3-digit number, क्या लेंगे? XYZ. And whenever we take number like this, क्या करेंगे? Yes, place values. That would be our first intuition. So we have a 3-digit number. They are saying that ratio of this number to sum of its digits is least. Okay. So what is this number? This number is nothing but 100x plus 10y plus z, right? Because we had to take some numbers from our side, so we took unknown as x, y, z. So our first intuition was, जब x, y, z वगैरह होता है, we try to gauge if using place values is possible. So we wrote it as place values, and they are asking us for the ratio of this number and sum of its digits. So this number divided by sum of its digit is x plus y plus z. This is what they are talking about. Ratio of number to sum of the digits of the number. Right? And we want this ratio to be as small as possible, least. So can you infer anything about what these digits should be? For ratio to be least, you want numerator to be as small as possible or denominator to be as large as possible. We have not studied fractions yet, but this is how fractions work. Your numerator has to be as small as possible for fraction to be small, and denominator to be as large as possible for fraction to be small. Fraction to be small, right? इसको बड़ा बनाना है, इसको छोटा बनाना है. But the thing is, this x, y, z are involved in the both places. So if you try to make this small, ये भी छोटा हो जाएगा. And if you try to make this large, वो भी बड़ा हो जाएगा. So there is one optimum value in between where the ratio is least. And there is no mathematical way of doing this when we don't have any additional conditions. इन्होंने बस उतना ही दिया है. So they also want you to just roam around a bit. Now, think of it like this. This x comes with 100. So whenever you take x as 1, it becomes 100. If x is increased by 1, so if x is 2, then this becomes 200. If x is 3, then it becomes 300. So because it is at the hundreds place, changing x changes this value very, very drastically. Because x is at the hundreds place, changing x changes this value very, very drastically. So if we want numerator to be as small as possible, this x has to be as small as possible. Because if this is large, then the numerator becomes way too large because it is multiplied with 100. So x has to be as small as possible. That is again intuition. There is no mathematical explanation for this. This is just how it should be. There are no additional equations. These are 3 unknowns. So to solve x, y, z, how many unknowns we need? How many equations we need? For 3 unknowns, how many equations we need? 3 equations. We already talked about it. We will talk about it 100 more times. Whenever we have 3 unknowns, we need 3 different equations to solve them uniquely. If we have 2 unknowns, we need 2 equations. If we have 1 unknown, we need 1 equation. In general, if you have n unknowns, we need n equations. Different equations that are not same, that are different from each other. But here, we don't have that luxury. Here we have only 3 unknowns and 1 not even equation. We just have that this ratio should be least. From that, we are trying to infer what these digits could be. Because this x appears with very huge number, it makes numerator way too large if we increase its value. That is why x has to be as small as possible. So x has to be as small as possible. 1. X has to be 1. Clear? The question is about what is the difference between this x and last digit z. Question is difference between x and z. Fine, that is the question. Now let us come to z. Z appears in the numerator as well as denominator. There is no value attached to z. Z is in the units place. In the units place. So this is just plus z. This is just plus z. So z does not increase value of numerator to that extent. But because x, y, z all appear as themselves, as digits. So Z will increase value of denominator very fast. Here, बाकी लोग important है because they come with 110. Here, in denominator, all are equally important. Here, they are more important because they come with 110. Here, all are equally important. So value of denominator can be greatly increased if Z is taken as maximum. दोनों जगह सेम आ रहा है ना, तो डिनोमिनेटर मैक्सिमाइज करने से ज्यादा फायदा होगा. Again, intuition, there is no mathematical explanation for this. That is why we put Z as 9. And this digit is our floater. Here, it can be as small as possible or as large as possible. Both are there. So it could be either 119 divided by 11 or 199 divided by 19. Both are possibilities. But anyway, we want difference between these two. Difference is 8. Important thing to note was that x, you can easily infer that x has to be 1 because it appears with 100 and otherwise it will increase value of numerator to very, very large extent. And z, because it appears as the same value in both numerator and denominator, we try to make it as large as possible. That is the only explanation. X equal to 1 समझ गए? Question समझ गए? We have a 3-digit number. We don't know which, so we take it as XYZ. They are saying that ratio of this 3-digit number to sum of its digits. What would be sum of its digits? X plus Y plus Z. Sum of the digits. And what is this number? जब हमें पता नहीं होता है XYZ क्या है, तो हम क्या करते हैं? हम इसको ऐसे लिखते हैं प्लेस वैल्यू. So this is the ratio they are talking about. This divided by X plus Y plus Z. And they are saying that this ratio is the least for this particular number. Now we want to make this ratio least. Now ये ratio least कब होगा? When numerator is as small as possible or the denominator is as large as possible. दोनों independently हो नहीं सकते यहाँ पे because there are XYZ involved in both the places. So they are somehow dependent on each other. If I try to make numerator small, then denominator will also become small. But मुझे तो denominator बड़ा चाहिए. और अगर मैं denominator बड़ा करने की कोशिश करता हूँ, then numerator is also bigger. So you have to balance so that this ratio is least. Now, what I'm saying is, because this x 100 के साथ आता है ना, 100x है वो. This is not x standalone. So this x, value of this x matters a lot in the numerator. वही सबसे main है. It is at the 100th place. So if I have x as 1, it is 100. If I have x as 2, सीधा 100 से value बढ़ती है numerator की. So that is why for this ratio to be least, this x has to be minimum because वो बहुत तेजी से बढ़ा रहा है number को. So x has to be 1. And this for this z, I am saying that it appears as a digit in both the places. Single digit. There is no 1, 10 or 100 or anything like that. This 110 matter a lot when it comes to value of numerator compared to z. And for denominator, all the digits are same. X, Y, Z सब एक ही बार आ रहा है, एक साथ ही आ रहा है, एक ही वैल्यू से आ रहा है. So that is why now our priority is to maximize denominator with Z. So Z should be 9 as large as possible. This is not a mathematical explanation, that I already said. This is how I feel. This is how feeling ऐसी आ रही है कि अब वो ज्यादा मैटर करता है, अब ये ज्यादा मैटर करना चाहिए. So that is why 1 and 9, the difference is 8. And with respect to 10's place, it could be either as large as possible or as small as possible. So it could be either 119 by 11 or 199 by 19. So as it turns out, this ratio is least. In case it was asked, we could have concluded that. Again, a question which required some intuition on your part. So something which you could have left alone. अपने आप में बहुत डिफिकल्ट नहीं था, but it required some intuition on your part. ऐसे ही नहीं होता वो. थोड़ा सा खेलना पड़ता है उसके साथ। ये था। चले आगे, शुड वी मूव हेड? चले, पक्का? व्हाट इज द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन? Right. This is 23 we are done with now, na? We are done with CSE 2023. There were as many as 13 questions from simple addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Not all questions were easy, some of them were quite lengthy, but they were not difficult. They were lengthy. They were to be avoided in examination hall. But difficulty level ऐसा कोई ऐसा नहीं था कि नहीं ही कर सकते, but टाइम का भी कंस्टेंट है एग्जामिनेशन हॉल में, दैट इज देयर. दैट इज व्हाई वी हैव टू पिक एंड चूज. वी हैव टू लर्न हाउ टू पिक एंड चूज. अब 2022 पे आ जाता है. देयर आर नॉट मेनी क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम दिस पर्टिकुलर सेक्शन इन 2022, बट वॉट एवर क्वेश्चंस आर देयर, दे आर वेरी इजी. फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन जैसे कि आप एडिशन प्रॉब्लम है, सिंपल एडिशन प्रॉब्लम है. एडिशन ऑफ 4 2-digit नंबर्स. व्हाट इज द एडिशन, बताओ. 3p plus 4p are, and question is find average ना. PQR are different. क्वेश्चन क्या है? अरिथमेटिक मीन ऑफ ऑल द पॉसिबल सम्स. अरिथमेटिक मीन सबको पता है क्या होता है? नहीं पता है तो इफ आई हैव नंबर्स a b, then arithmetic mean is a plus b by 2. If I have 3 numbers a b c, then arithmetic mean is a plus b plus c by 3. That is arithmetic mean. So you have to find out ऐसे कितनी possible sums है. Then whatever those sums are, you have to take their arithmetic mean. That is the answer. सिंपल एडिशन प्रॉब्लम है, 4 नंबर्स का एडिशन ये आना चाहिए. हियर वी हैव सेम ही करना है, यूनिट्स प्लेस को ऐड करना है और देखना है किसके एंड में 2 आता है. सेम करना है, यूनिट्स प्लेसेस, जस्ट सी which 4 times p comes out as 2 at the units place. Yes, answer. We already have answers. जिनका आंसर आया है नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन कर लीजिए आप. Yes, previous question you could try for a bit, but in case you don't feel like uh, attempting it, you can definitely leave it. हो गया? नहीं हो रहा? देखो ना, एडिशन करना है. दिस P, 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 P. Addition of all these P's should have 2 at the end. So what can P be? Is there any other possibility? 3 or 8? 3, 3, 3, 3. 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. 3 into 4 है ना वो. P into 4 should be 2. 1 into 4 के एंड में 4 आता है. 2 into 4 के एंड में 8 आता है. 3 into 4 के एंड में 12 का 2 आता है. फिर 4 into 4 6 आता है. 5 into 4 0 आता है. 6 into 4 4 आता है. 7 into 4 8 आता है 28 का. 8 into 4 का 32 का 2 आ सकता है. 9 into 4 36 का 6 आता है. एंड 0 into 4 0 आता है. सो P कैन बी 3 और 8. ऐड कर दो, डाल दो बस. 33, 43, 33, 33. दैट इज योर वन सम. एंड सेकंड इज 83, 40 नहीं 38, 48, 88, 88. दैट इज योर सेकंड पॉसिबिलिटी. जस्ट एंश्योर क्या करना है, R, Q और P डिफरेंट आ रहे हैं. Wherever R, Q and P are different, those are your possible sums. 2 possible sums would be there. Arithmetic mean would be addition divided by 2. ठीक है, आगे अब नहीं आया. एडिशन है ये. P क्या हो सकता है? What are the possible values of P? पहले ये देखा है कि P plus P plus P plus P एंड में 2 आना चाहिए. तो P क्या क्या हो सकता है? क्या 1 हो सकता है? P 2 आ गए तो वो बस डाल रहा हूं मैं वैल्यूज P की. अब देखो P को 3 डाला, इधर इधर P को 8 डाला. ऐड करो अब चारों नंबर. यू विल गेट 2 पॉसिबल सम्स. हाँ, ये करना है. उससे पहले इंश्योर करना है कि P Q R डिफरेंट है. जो डिफरेंट नहीं है वो केस रिजेक्ट करना है. आ रहा है? एकदम एडिशन से करना है, कुछ कुछ यूज नहीं करना है इससे ज्यादा. ठीक है जमीर, एडिशन हो गया. 400. कुछ तो मिस्टेक कर दिया तुमने एडिशन में. हाँ, व्हाट इज द एडिशन? 3 into 4 12. 12 का 2, 3 3 3 9 plus 5 142. And here 8 into 4 8 8 19 plus 23 plus 3 262. ऐड कर दो. It would be 2 plus 2 4 0 4 404 divided by 2 202 is the answer. हाँ है ना. दो क्वेश्चन क्या है? अरिथमेटिक मीन ऑफ ऑल पॉसिबल सम्स. देयर आर 2 पॉसिबल सम्स नो. दैट इज व्हाई. एंड यहाँ पे P Q R हर जगह पे डिफरेंट है. 2 6 8 है यहाँ पे 1 4 3 है. सो P Q R आर डिफरेंट. सो वी डोंट हैव एनी प्रॉब्लम. ठीक है, ठीक है. अब ठीक है जमीर, एडिशन में मिस्टेक कर रहे थे. ठीक है, पक्का. चले आगे. डिफिकल्ट लग रहा है, इजी लग रहा है? ठीक है, फास्ट नहीं जा रहे ना. इफ यू फील आई एम गोइंग टू फास्ट, यू कैन ऑलवेज इंटरप्ट मी. नो इश्यूज. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन क्या है? दिखाओ यार, एक मिनट जमीर. क्वेश्चन करने या फिर नेक्स्ट सेक्शन चालू करना है? अभी क्वेश्चन नेक्स्ट क्लास में करें. हाँ, एक बहुत क्वेश्चन हो रहा है ना. नेक्स्ट क्लास में बचे हुए क्वेश्चन करते हैं. लेट अस स्टार्ट विथ पावर्स और एक्सपोनेंट्स. बट रिमाइंड मी, क्वेश्चन करने हैं. सारे पीवाईक्यूज करेंगे, क्लास में करेंगे, बिकॉज दे गिव यू इंपॉर्टेंट इंसाइट और इंपॉर्टेंट चेंजेस। पुराने वाले एमसीक्यू, पुराने वाले पीवाईक्यूज देखोगे तो लगेगा कि ये तो हर कोई कर सकता है, बट अभी वाले देखोगे कि लगेगा नहीं यार क्या पूछ लिया, पूछा वही चीज होता है जो पहले पूछता था, बट अभी वो हटके टेढ़े तरीके से फिर एकदम अलग लैंग्वेज में ऐसे करके पूछ रहा है। ओके, so now we want to talk about powers or exponents. Powers are nothing but repeated multiplication. Earlier we studied multiplication as repeated addition. So whenever we wanted to add 2 repetitively, 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, we wrote it as, let us say 4 times only, we wrote it as 2 4 times. So multiplication was nothing but repeated addition. But what if we want to multiply 4 times? 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. So we write it as 2 to the power 4. This is called base, 2 is called base, and 4 is called exponent or power. 2 is called base. So fundamentally, this is nothing but repeated multiplication, at least when we are talking about in positive integers. When we are talking about positive integers, where we can define what do we mean by 2 multiplied by 4 times, then this is the meaning. Fine. एक कोई दे दो मुझे, तुम लोग के पास मल्टीपल है ना? Fine. In general, वही x raised to n would mean x into x into x. How many times? N times. This is how we define powers. And another thing to note is that if this n is 0, we define it as x to the power 0 as 1. For any number x to the power 0 is always 1, except for 0. X is not 0. Then x raised to power 0 is 1. We define it like this because if we don't, there are inconsistencies, and we don't want inconsistencies. We want everywhere consistency. That is why we define x to the power 1 as 1, x to the power 0 as 1. And as we know, x to the power 1 as x. That is self-explanatory. X multiplied 1 times mean only x. Now do the problem. CSE 2020 का problem है. Here, it is important to understand those terminologies. What do we mean by natural number, whole number? Are you aware? Try the question. Positive integer, real number, whole number, या फिर n equal to 0 only. These are the options. So you have to understand what does those option mean. Online students, सोए तो नहीं हो? हाँ? Okay. Try किया बाकी के options. क्या A आ रहा है? A आ रहा है. Question on page number कितना पेज है ये? Exponents का first question है. Exponent section में page number 11. CSE 2020 का question है. For what value of n the sum of the digits in this number is 2? मिल गया? In exponent section, first question. Okay. Very simple question. आ गया? क्या है? B. Okay. So we have one correct answer, one incorrect answer. Okay. A. सबका A आ रहा है, आपको B आ रहा है. You are still confident on your answer. Okay. चल. What is the answer? What is the answer? A. आपका? हाँ, वही जो ऑप्शन में दिए. जो बिगेस्ट पॉसिबल सेट है उसको लेना है फिर। ऑप्शंस क्या है, एक है 0, सो फर्स्ट विल चेक इफ इट इज ट्रू फॉर 0। फॉर 0 वी हैव 10 raised to n plus 1 है ना, so 10 raised to 0 plus 1, 10 raised to 0 is, for n equal to 0 it is 1 plus 1, so 2. What is sum of the digits? 2. For n non-zero or positive integers, for n equal to 0 it is valid. For positive integers, for example n equal to 2, 3, 4, anything, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to infinity. So what is 10 raised to n? 10 raised to 2 is 100, 10 raised to 3 would be 1000, 10 raised to 4 would be 10,000, 10 raised to n would be 1 followed by n zeros, and plus 1 भी है. What would happen if we add 1 to this? Bunch of zeros and unit place will become 1. ऐसे ऐड होता है, बाकी सब वैसा का वैसा रहेगा. We just add units place. What is sum of the digits here? 2. So it is valid for any positive integer. It is also valid for 0. So it is together, it means it is valid for whole numbers. Whole numbers क्या थे? Positive integers plus 0. So it is valid for whole numbers. So answer is B. The biggest set is real numbers, that is option number D. But this is not true for all real numbers, because 10 raised to, let us say, root 10 raised to 1 by 2 plus 1. What is 10 raised to 1 by 2? Root of 10. This is not even rational number. This is irrational number. We have not studied irrational number, but this is irrational number. So any बोला है वैसे भी, तो वो गलत होने का चांस ज्यादा है. उस लॉजिक से मार देना जीएस के. एक्सट्रीम स्टेटमेंट है वो. So answer is B. Yes. Most of you got it wrong. बाकी alternatives आपने देखे नहीं. Let us come back to powers or exponents. There are two special powers that we want to deal with: squares and cubes, and their corresponding square roots and cube roots. Square is nothing but whenever we multiply the number with itself, we call it the square of number. Square is number multiplied by itself. Cube is number multiplied by itself thrice. These are frequently occurring powers or frequently occurring exponents in our examinations in question papers. So we should be familiar with squares and cubes. Squares of numbers up till 30, cubes of numbers up till 15. Questions have been asked, and that is why we have to be familiar with those particular squares. And on the contrary, this 2 ka square is 4, this is 8. We call square root of 2, square root of 4 as 2. So square root of 4 as 2. Cube root of 8 as 2. Square, square root, cube, cube root. Definition fundamentally ठीक है. Fine. But here thing to note is -2 into -2 क्या होगा? We have seen this. Negative number into negative number is positive. So it also becomes 4. So square root of 4, or we can also write it as 4 to the power 1 by 2. Square root of 4 is plus or minus 2. So it depends on in which system we are talking about. If we are talking in natural number, we don't need to take negative numbers. But if we are talking in integers or rational numbers, it is important to specify both positive and negative roots. And we have seen this in one particular question, if you remember. Product of 3 consecutive integers is sum of those 3 numbers. There was this question in CSE 2022. The question was product of 3 consecutive integers is equal to their sum. So what we did, we took three consecutive integers as x, x minus 1, x plus 1, right? Then we added them. Addition came out as 3x because minus 1 plus 1 got cancelled, is equal to their product. Product is nothing but x into x minus 1 into x plus 1. This was their product. Sum is equal to product. That is what was given given information in the question. Now here we wanted to cancel the x, but we could cancel only if x was non-zero. Cancellation matlab division hota hai. Cancellation we cannot cancel numbers randomly. We can cancel or divide only when number is non-zero. So we wanted to divide by x on both sides. So we ensured that we take two cases. We take x equal to 0 case separately, and in x equal to non-zero case, we will divide. For x equal to 0 case, we got minus 1, 0, 1 as answer, as one possible triplet. For x equal to x not equal to 0, we got 3 is equal to x minus 1, x plus 1. We multiplied this, we got 3 is equal to x square minus 1. We took 1 on that side, we got x square is equal to 4. And then we took square root of both sides. We got x is equal to plus or minus 2. Why we took plus or minus 2 is because we were talking in integers term. We were not talking in natural numbers. We were talking in integers. That is why we got minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 and 1, 2, 3 as two possible triplets, because x could be minus 1, minus 2 or x could be 2. So answer was, how many such possibilities was there? This is 1, 2 and this was third possibility. Answer was only 3 possibilities are there. And this question I am solving for third time. That is why I went through it quickly. Last time बहुत slowly किया था. This time I am rushing through a bit. एक बार और करेंगे, टेंशन मत लो. ने कराया पहले ये. If you are still confused, we will do it one more time. But here I wanted to highlight this particular thing, that whenever we took root in integers, we have to take both positive and negative values. It is important for getting right answer. अगर एक ही रूट लेते तो एक ही वैल्यू आती, दो नहीं आती. Fine. Yes, so we were talking about squares, cubes, square roots and cube roots. In your booklets, there is a table of important squares and cubes. Those are basically squares till 30 and cubes till 15. That is for your reference or your mugging up. So your exercises are tables till 20, if possible till 30, but if not, at least till 20. Then these squares and cubes. What else? और क्या बोला था मैंने? कुछ बोला था और? नहीं? क्या बोला? ऐसे तो आपके भले के लिए है, वो सीसैट का कंटेक्स्ट नहीं है, वो आप लिखना है तो लिखो, वो आपका कंसर्न. दिस इज स्पेसिफिकली विथ रिगार्ड टू सीसैट. इतना तो आपको रटना पड़ेगा. टेबल्स, it will basically simplify your calculation, nothing else. Now we'll discuss very interesting fact before going on to squares and cubes of, before discussing popular rules. There are many times questions like, what is at the units place of some power? So we want to see what happens at unit place of any particular square, any particular square. So if we have any number, let us, I'm taking random number ending with 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4 ending with 1. Okay, any number ending with 1. And I want to square it. Square is nothing but multiplication of number with itself, right? So how do I multiply? I multiply this 1 with 1, then 1 with 4 and so on. And for multiplication, then I multiply by 4. After adding 1, 0, I start multiplying by 4 into 1 and so on. Then I add 2 zeros and multiply by 3. Then I add 3 zeros and multiply by 2. Then I add 4 zeros and multiply by final 1. What happens at the units place? 1 plus rest of them are 0. So whatever happened in the first place, that is the only thing that is impacting my units place. बाद में क्या हुआ उससे यूनिट्स प्लेस कुछ चेंज नहीं हुआ. क्यों नहीं हुआ? क्योंकि मल्टीप्लिकेशन ही हम वैसा करते हैं. मल्टीप्लिकेशन में ये सारे जीरोज आते हैं, बाय डिफॉल्ट जीरोज आते हैं वो. तो द ओनली फैक्टर दैट अफेक्ट्स यूनिट्स प्लेस ऑफ द स्क्वायर इज ये वाला मल्टीप्लिकेशन. और एंड में क्या है? एंड में दोनों जगह 1 है. अगर ये 1 की जगह लेट अस से 2 होता तो यहां पे क्या आता? एंड यहां पे क्या आता फिर? राइट, स्क्वायर का एंड, स्क्वायर का यूनिट्स प्लेस ऑफ द स्क्वायर ऑफ एनी पर्टिकुलर नंबर ओनली डिपेंड्स ऑन द यूनिट्स प्लेस में क्या है, उसका स्क्वायर क्या है. राइट, इफ देयर इज 3 हियर, क्या आएगा यहां पे? एंड यहां पे क्या आएगा? नथिंग एल्स मैटर्स. यूनिट्स प्लेस is only directed or determined by last place or the units place of the number we are trying to square. Now we want to see what possible numbers are there for squares. So if we have a number ending with 1, उसका end में क्या होगा? 1 होगा. If we have a number ending with 2, what would be units place? 4. If we have a number ending with 3, units place 9. If we have a number ending with 4, units place 6. Ending with 5, 5. Ending with 6, 6 into 6, 36 आएगा. Ending with 7. Ending with 8. Ending with 9. Ending with 0. If for any given number, these are the possible units place digits. So any square number will always have 0, 1, then 4, 5, 6 and 9 in the units place. कोई भी स्क्वायर नंबर हो, उनके यूनिट्स प्लेस में यही होना पड़ेगा. इन अदर वर्ड्स 2, 3, 7, 8 कभी नहीं आ सकते यूनिट्स प्लेस पे स्क्वायर के. These digits cannot ever come at the end of a square. Right? So if we are given, if the question is which of the following numbers is not a square, and one of the options is number ending with these numbers, you can directly tick that. इससे तो एंड होता ही नहीं है स्क्वायर कभी 2, 3, 7, 8 से. एंड इन केस यू फॉरगेट दैट नंबर्स एग्जैक्टली कौन से थे, तो ये तो कर सकते हो. दिस इज समथिंग यू कैन डू एंड देख सकते हो कि कौन से आते हैं, तो बचे हुए नहीं आते. इफ यू फॉरगेट दैट दीज नंबर्स डू नॉट कम एट द यूनिट्स प्लेस ऑफ अ स्क्वायर, यू कैन जस्ट ट्राई these things that ending with 1 का स्क्वायर क्या है, एंड में क्या होगा, 2 का क्या होगा, 3 का क्या होगा, अप टू 0 का क्या होगा, एंड कंक्लूड दैट अगर इनमें से कोई भी नहीं है तो नहीं होगा उसके. Right? This again a question is long overdue. I feel that there would be question sometime about based on this simple fact that numbers ending with these will never be square. Sometime that could be asked. It's a very interesting thing that these digits never come at the end of square. ठीक है? Any doubt so far? All are comfortable, all of you are comfortable. कोई डिफिकल्टी? पक्का? प्रशंसा. चले आगे. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन देखो. द एज ऑफ मिस्टर एक्स लास्ट ईयर, वो वाला जो क्वेश्चन है, ट्राई दैट. Again, how do we approach the word problem? We just do not try to do not get frightened easily. we just try to read it very very calmly. जो भी दिया है we try to write it into form of equations. यहाँ पे the question is on the age of Mr. X. In age type of questions, it is always the best way to take his today's age as unknown and write the equations in terms of today's age. And all you need to solve this question is that table on the previous page, tables on the previous page. Just try to understand what the question is trying to say. Everybody understand the question? Question समझ गए क्या बोल रहे हैं? नहीं. Question is saying that Mr. X जो है उनका last year जो भी age था. So let us say today's age is X. Last year his age was X minus 1. It was a square of some number. We don't know what number, but it was a square of some number. And the question is also saying that next year उनका जो भी age होगा, next year उनका age X plus 1 होगा. आज X है तो next year X plus 1 होगा. It would be a cube of some other number. Right? This is given. Basically, last year और next year के बीच में gap कितना है? 2 years. There is 2 years gap. So we want to find a square and a cube जिनके बीच में 2 का gap है. कोई है क्या वो टेबल में देखो ऐसा कोई? We just want to find out ये 2 ईयर का गैप है ना इन दोनों के बीच में, लास्ट ईयर और नेक्स्ट ईयर के बीच में. लास्ट ईयर कोई स्क्वायर नंबर था, नेक्स्ट ईयर कोई क्यूब नंबर है. तो डू वी हैव सच अ स्क्वायर एंड सच अ क्यूब जिनके बीच में 2 का गैप है? सही है. लास्ट ईयर एंड नेक्स्ट ईयर कितना गैप होता है? 2 साल का गैप होता है. हाँ हाँ, yes. The question is talking about last year's age and next year's age. So between those, right. 5 and 3. Everybody is sure that this square has to be 25 and this cube has to be 27. Right? ठीक है. Now once you have, now we have X. What is X? 26. Today's age we have. That is most important thing in solving age का questions. कि आज का age निकल गया तो आप कुछ भी निकाल सकते हैं. Now what is the question? Cube number again. What is the next cube number? 64. After 27, which is cube of 3, you have 64 as a cube number. Cube of 4. So how many years he has to wait for his age to become 64? 64 minus 26. Huh? Okay. यहाँ तक समझ गए? यहाँ ये समझ गए? This is just what we know from the question. We assume always in age question, आज का age X है. So what was the age last year? X minus 1. They are saying that this was a square of some number. We don't know which number. We write it as some p square. And they are also saying that next year his age would be cube of some number. X plus 1 is cube of some number. X minus 1 is a square. X plus 1 is a cube. What is the difference between those two? 2. So we want to find out a cube number and a square number जिनके बीच में 2 का difference. We found out. Those are 25 and 27. From our basic elementary first 5, 7 cubes and squares, this will be found out. So once you got this, we got x as 26. Because x minus 1 is 25, x plus 1 is 27, x would be 26. कोई डाउट इसमें? अब क्या बोला है कि what is the smallest number of years he has to wait so that his age would be cube again. उसका एज अगेन फिर से एक बार क्यूब नंबर कब होगा? वो जब 64 एज होगा. नेक्स्ट क्यूब कौन सा है? 27 के बाद क्यूब नंबर कौन सा है? 64. 27 इज 3 का क्यूब, तो नेक्स्ट वुड बी 4 का क्यूब ना, दैट इज 64. कितने सालों बाद होगा 64? आज का एज, ये 64 माइनस आज का एज, इट इज 38. ठीक है, ठीक है. हाँ हाँ आ सकते हैं यार. इट इज नॉट कि आए नहीं तो आएंगे नहीं, दैट इज नॉट द थिंग ना. Again, last 4-5 years we have not had any cube kind of question. Like there is a big 5 by 5 by 5 cube and we are cutting it into pieces of 1 by 1 by 1 and we color it from all the sides. We apply different color. So how many faces are with 1 color, 2 color, 3 color, no color? Those kind of questions used to come before 2019. Last time I think in 2018. But this year, 2 questions from cube directly. 4-year gap was there, but 2 questions in this year's paper. इट इज नॉट गारंटी और एनीथिंग कि अगर पूछा नहीं गया थी पिछले 3-4 साल में तो अब पूछा नहीं जाएगा. वी शुड बी रेडी. ऑफकोर्स ऐसा नहीं है कि रैंडमली कुछ एकदम डिसीजन मेकिंग वाला पूछ लेंगे वो, विच इज देयर इन द सिलेबस. वी हैव सीन द सिलेबस. देयर इज अ डिस्टिंक्टली मेंशन्ड चैप्टर द डिसीजन मेकिंग एंड प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग, बट डिसीजन मेकिंग दे हैव नॉट आस्क्ड एवर सिंस 2015. इन 2015 दे मेड सीसैट क्वालिफाइंग. उसके बाद पूछा नहीं गया डिसीजन मेकिंग. इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि 100% पूछा ही नहीं जाएगा, 99% नहीं पूछा जाएगा. बिकॉज डिसीजन मेकिंग में क्या होता था, दे यूज्ड टू गिव यू सम केस स्टडी काइंड ऑफ थिंग एंड दे यूज्ड टू गिव यू 4 ऑप्शंस एंड यू हैव टू चूज वन ऑफ द ऑप्शंस एज द बेस्ट वन. सबसे बेस्ट चूज करोगे तो 2.5 मिलेंगे, सेकंड बेस्ट करोगे तो 2 मिलेंगे, थर्ड बेस्ट करोगे तो 1.5 मिलेंगे, समथिंग लाइक दैट. बट अब एथिक्स में बड़ी बड़ी केस स्टडीज आती है तो उनको लग रहा है कि वो जरूरत नहीं है वैसे केस स्टडी की सीसैट में, so they don't ask questions like that. ऐसा नहीं कि वो पूछ नहीं सकते, they can still ask because it is there in the syllabus. पर नहीं पूछेंगे, that is what we can surmise. But ये पूछ सकते हैं फिर से, इसमें क्या है? This is just something we are writing as equations. It is not out of the ordinary. ठीक है, राइट. समझ गए पक्का? ऑनलाइन स्टूडेंट्स, लक्ष्य, लावण्या, समझ गए क्वेश्चन? Ashwini, you are right. Yes. First thing we have to do is just write down whatever we know in simplest possible format and look for the information that is given. Then we apply our pre-existing knowledge to find out the unknowns and then find out the final answer. That is the general process which we have followed. कोई डाउट इसमें? Okay, then we'll move on to properties of exponents. These are some of the properties that we need to get comfortable about, not something we have not learned, and this follows straight away from basic definition of exponents. For example, a raised to m into a raised to n is equal to a raised to m plus n. Why is it? What is a raised to m? It is nothing but a multiplied m times m times. And what is a raised to n? It is a multiplied n times. Is nothing but multiplication of a only. A multiplied m plus n times, which is written as a raised to m plus n times. Simple rules. And because division is nothing but opposite operation of addition, what would be a raised to m divided by a raised to n? A raised to m minus n. Division is opposite operation of addition. Then a raised to 0 is equal to 1, something which we have already seen. Any base raised to 0 is 1. A raised to 1 is a for all a. Then what else? A raised to minus 1 is nothing but 1 by a. A raised to minus 1 is 1 by a. A raised to minus n is 1 by a raised to n. जो भी नेगेटिव यहाँ पे आएगा ना वो डिवीजन में जाके पॉजिटिव हो जाएगा, यही याद रखो बस. जिस माइनस में है तो नीचे जाके प्लस में होगा, माइनस में है नीचे जाके प्लस में होगा. देन a raised to m raised to n is equal to a raised to mn. क्यों होगा ये? What is this? This is nothing but a raised to m multiplied n times by definition. Right? It is equal to, now this is just multiplication, m plus add होगा ना वो सब by first property. A raised to m into a raised to n is a raised to m plus n. By that property, all these m's would get added. How many times are there? n times. M plus m plus m, n times क्या होता है? mn. That is how multiplication is defined. ठीक है? Then ab to the power n is equal to a to the power n b to the power n. Again same logic. वही ये क्या होगा? Nothing but ab into ab into ab n times. So if I calculate a, this is the multiplication also, na? Here also it is ab matlab a into p. So how many times a appears? 1, 2, n times. AB appears n times, so A also appears n times. So A raised to n. And B also appears n times, so B raised to n. Similarly, A by B to the power n is equal to n will distribute on the both the sides, numerator as well as denominator. And finally, a raised to 1 by n is equal to nth root of a. We write it a raised to 1 by n matlab nth root of a, and a raised to m by n is equal to nth root of a raised to m. Whatever in the numerator वो पावर में आता है, whatever in the denominator वो रूट में आता है. रूल्स हो गए ज्यादा. You guys know all these rules? नहीं? It will take some time to get comfortable with these rules. Let us solve some problem so that we get more acquainted, more familiar with these rules. For applying these rules, हर जगह पे हमने क्या ऑब्जर्व किया? Base is same. So our first aim would be to make base everywhere same. What is 2 raised to 2 into 2 raised to 9? Firstly, is base same? Yes. Multiplication में क्या होता है? सीधा ऐड होता है. 9 plus 2, 11. ठीक है. 2 raised to 7 into 2 raised to 2. 2 raised to क्या होगा? Base is same. 7 plus 2, 9. Then 2 raised to 2 into 4 raised to 2. Base same नहीं है. So we cannot directly add. For direct addition, base same करना पड़ेगा. But this 4 is nothing but 2 square, that we know. So it is 2 square into 2 square का square. So this is nothing but 2 square into 2 raised to, multiplication होता है 2 into 2, 4. This is 2 raised to 6. ठीक है. 3 raised to 7 divided by 3 raised to 4. डिवीजन में सब्ट्रैक्शन हो जाता है. 3 raised to 3. 3 raised to 7 divided by 9 raised to 3. 3 raised to 7. 9 is nothing but 3 square. 3 raised to 7 divided by 3 raised to 2 into 3, 6. So it is 3 raised to 6 minus 1, 1. Is nothing but 3. Four raised to 5 into 2 raised to 7 divided by 2 raised to 20. What is 4 raised to? This is 5. 2 raised to 5. 2 raised to 2 raised to 5. 4 is 2 square into 2 raised to 7 divided by 2 raised to 20. This is 2 raised to 10 into 2 raised to 7 divided by 2 raised to 20. Now base is same. सीधा ऐड सब्ट्रैक्ट कर सकते हैं. 7 plus 10, 17 minus 20, 2 raised to minus 3 or 1 by 2 raised to 3 or 1 by, this is 8. 2 raised to 3 is 8. We can write it as 8. Okay. Exercise for for you to do. Answers I want either in base of 2 or base of 3. In powers of 2 or 3, I mean. 16 is 2 raised to 4. These are all powers of 2 or powers of 3. I want answers in powers of 2 or 3. करो करो. ये समझ में नहीं आ रहा. समथिंग रेस टू 0 है ना वो. Whatever you cannot solve in examination hall, examiner वो तुम्हें देगा भी नहीं. ठीक है. बहुत बार बोला मैंने, एग्जामिनर इज नॉट फूल टू गिव यू प्रॉब्लम्स व्हिच आर अनसॉल्वेबल इन एग्जामिनेशन हॉल. तो कुछ तो पैटर्न बनेगा या तो कुछ ऐसा होगा एकदम बच्चों जैसा. See if you can do all of this. कर पाओगे पक्का. कल तक हो जाएगा, होमवर्क फॉर टुमारो लिख लिए. लास्ट थिंग विल सी टुडे इज यूनिट्स प्लेस, समथिंग यू विल एंजॉय. अब तक हमने यूनिट्स प्लेस ऑफ स्क्वायर्स देखे थे. नाउ वी आर नॉट रिस्ट्रिक्टिंग आवरसेल्व्स टू स्क्वायर्स. या तो एक काम करो, यही सॉल्व कर लो. नहीं, ये कल ही कर लेना. लेट अस डू सम थिंग्स, maybe not all. We are talking about finding out units place of powers. Earlier we saw what was happening for units place of squares. Now we are talking about, we are not limiting ourselves to squares or power 2. We are taking any random powers. And questions are asked. This year also there was question about find out the units place of some power that was given. Very easy question. You will able to do it very quickly after this 5-10 minutes, whatever we have. So if we have anything, any power of any number, what matters? What determines the last digits or units place? Only units place determines. बाकी चीजों का फर्क नहीं पड़ता. ये देख लिया था हमने, because how the multiplication happens. So whatever number I have, and here last digits जो भी है, that may be 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, and I take some power 1, 2, 3, 4. What determines the units place of this particular number? Only this, right? Because this 1 would be multiplied by itself, again with itself, again with itself, and end किस में होगा? 1 में ही होगा. So 1 का any power will end with 1. Similarly, if we have 0 at the end, if we have 0 at the end and we are taking any power 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, anything, any large power, what would be units place of this number? 0, because it doesn't matter what is there before this 0. Only 0 determines the units place of this particular power. So you take 0 any times, you multiply 0 with itself any number of times, it will end with 0. Koi issue. Why does it happen? Again, how do we, that has to deal with how do we multiply two numbers. Powers is nothing but multiplication, repeated multiplication. Number is multiplied by itself that many times. So this number is multiplied with itself. You get 0 into 0, 0. Again it is multiplied by the same thing. You get 0 into 0 into 0. And you do this however number of time you want. You will still get 0 at the end. Units place will still be 0. Right? It doesn't matter कौन सा power ले रहे हो. Units place will still be 0. What happens if number is ending with 5? And if I take any power, any power, it will again end with 5. कोई शक इसमें, because we multiply this by 5. 5 into 5, 25 का 5 आएगा. Again multiply by 5. 5 into 5, 5 आएगा. 5 into 5, 5 आएगा. जितनी भी बार multiply करना है कर लो. End में तो 5 ही आएगा. This number will always end with 5. कोई शक. Number ending with 0 will always end with 0. Number ending with 1 will always end in 1. Number ending with 5 will always end in 5. Right? Now there are just two things that we are particularly interested in. What happens when number ends with 2 and what happens when number ends with 3. That is all. These are the only two things that we are interested in, and that is where questions will be asked. Rest of the things do not matter. Again, one more thing we can see. What if number is ending with 6? 6 into 6, 36. 6 into 6, 36. 6 square कितना होता है? 36. 6 cube कितना होता है? 216. It will always end in 6. Something we can see. 0, 1, 5, 6. यहाँ पे तो कोई issue ही नहीं है हमें. It will always end in 0, 1, 5 and 6. Units place will always be 0, 1, 5 and 6 because how the multiplication happens. Powers are nothing but repeated multiplication. उसी के साथ multiply होते रह रहा है, तो units place will always be guided by this last digits. Okay. Now let us come to number ending with 2. क्या कल करना है बताओ? है एनर्जी और 5 मिनट के लिए, या कल करना है? कल करना है, फाइन, क्योंकि क्वेश्चन इसी से आता है. यू कैन सी ऑन द नेक्स्ट पेज, जो CSE 2023 का क्वेश्चन है ना, दैट इज नंबर एंडिंग विथ 2. तो क्वेश्चन इसी से बनते हैं, नंबर एंडिंग विथ 2 और नंबर एंडिंग विथ 3. इज वेरी इजी वंस यू नो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग. क्यों ऐसा हो रहा है? वंस यू गेट टू नो दैट, इज वेरी स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड. कोई तकलीफ होगी ही नहीं, कभी नहीं होगी. नंबर एंडिंग विथ 2. फर्स्ट थिंग क्या है, हमने क्या सीखा फर्स्ट इसमें, कि ओनली द यूनिट्स प्लेस मैटर्स. whenever we are taking power and talking about units place, only the units place matter. तो जो भी नंबर वहां पे दिया है CSE 2023 के क्वेश्चन में, what will matter? Only 2 will matter, 2 and the power. But rest of the digits, they are irrelevant. तुम वहां पे जो भी लिख लो, it doesn't matter as far as units place is concerned. That was the lesson that we learned with our squares and then with our rest of the powers, because that is how multiplication happens. We keep adding zeros. Unit place is only determined by units place ka power, and how that power is repeated, what kind of pattern that is formed, that we will see tomorrow. And once you understand that pattern, it is cakewalk. You will never face issue in this kind of questions. Fine. तो बस एक्सरसाइजेस कर लेना. तुम विल मीट टुमारो 8 AM. ठीक था आज का पेस? फास्ट था, स्लो था, हेल्पफुल था, अनहेल्पफुल था, अननेसेसरी था? व्हाट इज योर फीडबैक? सही है, ठीक चल रहा है? PYQ सारे करने चाहिए ना हमें क्लास में? करने चाहिए. We are trying to use as less formulas as possible. We don't want to burden ourselves with additional mugging up, with all the mugging up that we already have to do in our GS and mains. वो तो करना ही है mug up, उसका कोई इलाज नहीं है. यहाँ पे we can do with as less mugging up as possible. Okay, Lakshay, I will upload solutions of worksheet 1. Okay, good day. We'll meet tomorrow.